Hi everyone, Attorney Rachel Kelly here with another Family Law Friday. This week I'm answering the question of, I'm broke, how can I afford to get divorced? So I have spent probably hundreds of hours of time trying to figure out how to come up with ways to make my services and providing divorces more cost effective for clients. And ultimately, the reality is that essentially the higher level of conflict in your case, the more likely it is that if you can't figure out how to find the money to support yourself through divorce and get help, legal help, the more likely that you are to have a bad outcome in your case. Now, let's break that down a little bit. I want you to think about it. When you got married, how much did you spend on your wedding and who paid for it? Just think about that. Well, now you're getting divorced. You are undoing that legal obligation that you created when you got married. And just like a wedding, which has and can be very expensive, a divorce also has expenses and can be expensive depending on your level of need and the level of service that you want. And the reality is, if you were willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on your wedding, but you're not thinking about investing that same level financially into making sure that your future post-divorce is appropriate, that you have a fair and equitable property division, that you're receiving or paying the appropriate levels of support and not overpaying or under receiving, and most importantly, making sure that your relationship with your children is protected, then the question is, what are you really valuing in your life? So I think that this video today really should be more about ways that people find money to support their divorce when they're in a situation where they absolutely need that assistance. Now, I want to start this by saying that if you watching this video have a household income, meaning that you and your spouse together are earning at 133% or less of the federal poverty standard, which you can Google that, it changes based on family size, then your first call, if you're considering divorce, should be to the local legal aid office near you to see if they're willing to help you, because you are going to qualify for their services provided they have an opportunity to assist you. Now, for everyone else who doesn't fall below that income threshold, I think the rest of this video is for you. Okay, so standard ways that people find the money so that they can get the help that they need. The very first thing, consider opening a new credit card. So you can open a credit card early on in a divorce process or before you choose to get divorced. Just don't title it with your ex, just have it be in your sole name. Now, a lot of new credit cards have a 0% interest period that's, between 1 year to 18 months. And a lot of people like that and rely on that for their attorney's fees to be paid early on in their divorce, because then within that period, they're going to receive their share of the marital assets and they can plan to pay off that credit card. Along that same line, a lot of clients borrow funds from their friends and their family when they're initially starting their divorce process. Again, most people through the process of divorce are going to get some share of assets moving forward, and so there's an opportunity to pay those off. Another thing is to look into a litigation financing service, something like New Chapter Capital, which specifically helps particularly stay-at-home parents get the financing they need to make sure that they get appropriate outcomes in divorces, or something like ePay Financial. Even PayPal has been testing litigation funding, and so there are lots of sources. If you have a good relationship with a bank or a credit union, I have had clients who've been longtime customers with credit unions who've been able to go to the credit union and explain, hey, we're getting divorced and I need, so many thousands of dollars for my attorney for the retainer. Can I open a line of credit? And a lot of times the banks will approve that because, again, they've been involved with your family for such a long time, and they know that you are going to receive property as part of a divorce settlement. And so they're willing to kind of take that chance on you. And lastly, the last thing that you can kind of consider of ways to afford your divorce, even if you're not in the best financial situation, is that you can look for an attorney that is willing to work with you on a limited scope basis, or that offers guaranteed flat fees. And that way you'll know exactly how much you're paying. So you know exactly how much money you need to be looking for to find to make sure that you can make it through your divorce. Thanks everyone. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions at all, or if you're considering a divorce, please give our office a call. We're here to help.